Some of my favorite. All right, and then if you just want to let me know as people are joining, and then
I will absolutely. Looks like we have some starting.
Perfect.
We have several on right now.
Wonderful. So we're just gonna hang out for just a few minutes and allow people to join. We're 1 minute early on the 12 o'clock mark. So we'll give it just a little bit and then we'll introduce ourselves. But something I'll bring up a couple times is as we are moving through this process in this video today, please feel free to ask us questions at any point. Just really crucial that you go ahead and use the Q&A function on here and not the chat. The chat is a little laggy, and so we don't always see your questions on there. So please try to use the quick Q&A. That way Tina and myself can answer your questions real time. Right, we'll just give it just probably 2 more minutes and then we'll get up and get going on this beautiful Mount Hood. You guys did the Tamarack last week, yeah?
We did. That was a great house.
It was. It's always nice to see them decorated on the inside.
Absolutely. It gives more visual. You kind of see where, you know, where the sofa is going to be placed, where the TV is going to be placed.
That would be my favorite part, is decorating the house.
Oh, yeah.
And then figuring out how I was going to keep everything clean.
Right? Well, it's easier to keep it clean when it's new.
This is true, yeah. Perfect, so we'll just give it 1 more minute just for any stragglers to joining. So we're gonna get up and going here soon on the Mount Hood plan. And then once again, if you just joined us, please feel free to ask questions at any point throughout this presentation. Just please use the Q&A function on this platform and not the chat. The chat, it does not always come through, so please use the Q&A. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll get going. Thank you everybody for joining today. We are going to be taking you guys on a beautiful virtual tour of our Mount Hood plan. This plan is a single-story home. It is 2,734 square feet. This plan offers 3 bedrooms, a den, a bonus room, and 2 full baths and a half bath just off of the living room. So quickly before we dive in, we'll just take some time to introduce ourselves. So my name is Sarah and I work out of the Woodland branch here in Southwest Washington. And so we service a handful of counties here in this area. And then of course we do have branches all over Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Arizona. So if you're joining us from one of those other states today, welcome. We're excited to have you. And then I'll go ahead and let my co-host introduce herself as well.
Hello, I'm Tina, and I'm also out of the Woodland branch as a homeownership counselor. So welcome, everyone.
Welcome. So we're going to go ahead and get up and going. What we'll start with first is we are going to dive in to the original plan that these customers chose. And then we're going to go ahead and pull up the modifications that they switched around. So for us here at Adair, we are completely modifiable, which is what you're going to see for this customer. So if you're looking through our website and you just can't find one plan that checks all your boxes, but there's one plan that's really close, you would just change X, Y, and Z. That is more than welcome for us. So that was the case for these customers. They are on 20 acres on a farmstead. So they wanted to have some large spaces to process any of their garden needs and to be able to have a large storage space for that farmstead. So we'll see that. So this is the plan, how it is per our website. So like I said, this is a single story home. So the Mount Hood can come in a handful of exterior looks. These looks do range in price, that nothing changes on the inside of the home. So that would purely just be based on your design preferences and what you'd like to see on your property. So we come down and we're really transparent on our website, so you're going to be able to see the base price for any of our homes here, what the square footage is, and then we scroll down a little further, and this is going to give you the visual of the floor plan. So the Mount Hood is one of our 2 plans that does already come with a 3-car garage, so that is a great function for a lot of our customers. So this one already has it in the base price of the home, whereas other homes that would be an additional upgrade. So on this home, you walk in the front door and you're going to have your dining room present right off to the side, and then you walk into your living room, living room, kitchen, and breakfast nook space, all open concept on this plan. And then another great feature is you do have the primary suite on the opposite end of the bedrooms. So that is always great to give some sound barrier, to give some space. We've got the primary suite over here with a large primary bathroom and walk-in closet. We have the den right here in the front of the plan, and then we've got the bonus room, which is a great feature on this plan, 21 by 15 here in the back of the home. Something that's nice. Yeah, something that's unique on this plan is this could also be a dual master. So something that is pretty popular up and coming in the industry is having a multi-generational home. So this is a plan that would allow you to turn this bonus room into a dual master for any other relative living with you. Okay. Anything you would like to add, Tina, about this plan?
I do have one question coming up already on this plan. We see that the island is cornered there, L-shaped. Is it possible to reshape that into like rectangular?
Absolutely. So we do have this triangle island on a few of our plans. And then another aspect that you can't quite tell in this picture is it is a tiered island. So a handful of customers will keep it as is, which is totally okay. And then a handful of customers like the space that a triangle island provides. They just want it to be single level. So that is possible as well. And then some customers actually prefer a rectangle, which is also possible. So yes, the kitchen island can be modified to fit your needs and the look that you want.
Perfect.
Perfect. So with that, we will go ahead and we'll dive into the floor plan for these customers. So the first thing you might notice is that now the garage is on the other side of the home. So each of our plans can be flipped based on what your property needs. So how your driveway is coming up to the home, if you have a view or anything like that, the plan can be altered to fit where you need. So
I'm gonna butt in here. So just so we can take the questions as we go, so we don't get backed up. If we can either jump back to the kitchen or we can put this one on hold, but we have a question regarding where could the pantry go?
That's a great question. So you can do a corner pantry on this plan. That is works easiest to without having to modify the floor plan too much. And so you would just push the range down a little bit, and then a nice corner pantry could be introduced right here. Some customers will also put a pantry kind of in the utility room. It's hard to see on this one, so we modified it. So some customers customers will either expand this, rearrange this, and potentially add a pantry into this space. But once again, the plan is completely modifiable. So you've got options in regards to the pantry. You just have a couple things to think about if that's high up on your need list. And so if you aren't wanting to increase the footprint of the home at all to allow for that pantry, you just need to think about what part of the house you would like to reconfigure to add that pantry addition. So that is where the kitchen comes in. That's the easiest one to sort of modify. The one thing that I will say on this plan standard does come a double decker cabinet. So it is a cabinet that sits from the bottom of the lowers and goes all the way to the uppers. There's no space in between it. And it does have 2 large doors that open on that cabinet, and that has 4 shelves in it. So that's sort of the base level pantry that does already come with this plan. It's just not labeled on this. And so it sits right over here, that double decker cabinet.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so we come in here. So there was a few things that these customers modified on the plan. So we come in, they kept the island as is. So that came up earlier. These particular customers liked the look. They did just add a farm sink into the island, which we'll see in the video that we're going to go through. Another thing that this customer did is they added not can lights, they added skylights to their home. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3 beautiful skylights in a row going from their great room to their nook that we'll get to capture really well in the video. And then, like I said, these customers are on 20 acres, so the need for storage and extra space for them was really important, given that they did not have any children that are going to live in this home with them. So we took bedroom number 3, which was right here, and we converted it into an enlarged utility room. So if you remember from the original plan, the utility room was just sort of a breezeway that you walk through to get into the home. And then you had bedroom number 3. For them, they reconfigured it. So we did some upper and lower cabinets in this space, which we'll see in the video. We did some freestanding shelves for storage. We enclosed their furnace so that it just looks like a closet when you walk into that space. And then we did some additional outlets for a refrigerator and a freezer, and just for extra space that they needed for the farm.
Very nice.
They still kept a guest room. So we've got bedroom number 2 off down the hallway, and then they left the bonus room as is. And so that is a great space that we're going to walk through. We come over to the primary master suite over here, and they did upgrade to a beautiful garden style tub. So we're going to capture that. It's a nice eggshell tub that's going to sit right under their window. And then we also have a custom tile shower, which we're going to be able to see that they sort of did. They modified it in a very unique way. And so I'll touch on that when we're going through on the video. And then storage was important to them. So they sort of rotated their toilet and then added these linen shelves in the bathroom. So that's going to be extra storage for their towels, extra toilet paper, all that kind of stuff, just right there in the bathroom, easily accessible for them. Okay. Any other questions before we dive into the video?
I think we're ready to dive in.
Perfect. All right. So we'll make this guy pretty big. All right. So before I get started, I'm just going to touch on a handful of things that we see on the exterior. So 20 acres. So we are vast here. So both myself and Tina are out of the Woodland branch in Southwest Washington. But prior to coming to Woodland, I did work out of the Yakima branch for a full year. So Yakima is our Central Washington branch, and they service really the whole middle chunk of Washington state. So this particular plan that we're viewing today is in Centerville, Washington, which is just on the outskirts of Goldendale. So this is in the gorge. This particular home, I don't think will capture it, but this home does have views of both Mount Hood and Mount Adams. So wide open space, as we can see. And then the exterior. So they did a handful of unique upgrades to the exterior of their home. So we'll go ahead and we'll start the video and I'll go over those. So the first thing we see is this beautiful crowfoot patio cover. So that patio cover was a custom option that the customers really wanted to have as part of their exterior of their home. So this normally is just complete cedar shake and not open. So we opened that up, which was a great touch. And then they also added exterior stone to their home. So given the scenery, sort of having a craftsman style home really fits into their environment. So we've got this beautiful cultured stone coming up about 3.5 feet on the whole front of the house.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna come into the inside. I apologize for what we're seeing on the floor. So the one thing that these customers did in this whole area of the home is they did an upgraded engineered hardwood. And so it's a beautiful product that we wanted to make sure was just as beautiful when the customers moved in. So all of this paper is down to protect that hardwood. Even though this home was in the finishing stages, we really didn't want anything to happen to it. So you're going to see this this paper down in a few areas of the home. Got a little sneak peek of the hardwoods there, but otherwise, unfortunately, they're covered up. Okay, so we're walking into the home and we are in the entry space and we are gonna turn over here to the half bath and the den. So this is that den space that sits right off of the front of the home. Few things that I'll touch on is these customers did go with full wrap windows. So we've got this beautiful craftsman trim that's going to be throughout the home. And then they also chose to go ahead and wrap all of their windows. Standard in the base price is just going to be drywall wrapped. So it really depends if you are curtain people, not curtain people, or how you would like that to look on your home. We're also seeing an upgraded carpet throughout the home. They did go with a very soft carpet. So they've got a high profile carpet in the bedrooms and office of this home. We come through and we've also got oil rub bronze fixtures. So we are going to see these throughout the home in all of their finishes. So we've got oil rub bronze for all the lighting in this home. We have oil rub bronze for all of the door hardware in all of the bedrooms. We also have oil rub bronze for all of the plumbing. So that is something that was completely carried through this home. This is the dining room also, so I'll note on that. And now we're going to go in to the primary suite, which is over here on the same side as the den. Come in, these customers also went with a 9-foot ceiling. So we've got 9-foot ceilings in here, which also allowed all of their windows to grow by a foot. So that's all part of that package for our customers.
Sarah, we have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When we were coming in, someone had asked, is that trim around the doorways and the flooring, is that standard? It looks like, they say it looks like a craftsman style.
Yeah, so this was an upgraded trim for the customer. So for our base price, we have a 2 1/4 colonial trim, and then customers have a handful of other options they can go with based on what aesthetic they want for their home. And then our trim upgrades do come in 2 different tiers. So a customer can choose to just do the bases and the doorways in an upgraded trim, or they can choose to do the doorways, the bases, closets, and all the windows. And so we see those two upgrades in this home. So we're going to see the Craftsman trim around the doors, and then we also see the Craftsman trim around all the windows.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. We come into this space, we're going to peek at this tile shower in just a second, but a few things I'll touch on over here is we do have, which we'll get a great view of in the kitchen, is an upgraded cabinet throughout this home. So this is our Naughty Alder upgraded cabinet in the clear stain. So this has all the beautiful knots and grooves and the real look of the wood showcased, which is perfect for, of course, this farm home. Really fits into the environment. And then we're seeing the oil rub bronze again. And then for countertop, this is one of our specialty laminates. Okay, so in the base price of our homes, you are going to have a laminate for the countertop. And then you can, of course, go with a quartz or a granite. We'll see granite in the kitchen of this home. But in here, they chose a specialty laminate, which is a great product that looks like a granite or a quartz, but it also comes at a much more accessible price point for a handful of our customers. So this is a great way to get a great look without having to really hone in on the budget for countertops.
Well, we're on that countertop. Is it possible that those sinks could be undermounted sinks?
So in order to do an undermounted sink, we would need to go with a granite or a quartz product. So when we just have laminate, we unfortunately cannot do an undermount because what exists under this is wood. So then to undermount in a wood product could lead to long-term damage. So that is why a granite or a quartz is necessary in order to undermount a sink in any area. Okay.
Perfect.
Wonderful. So we'll come in. So this is that beautiful garden tub. Yeah. So beautiful. This is a great touch. This was really important to these customers. As you can see, there's a beautiful window right here. So they'll be able, and not a single house in sight. So they'll be able to really relax and enjoy this bathtub. It's got a freestanding filler right here. And then also it looks black, but it is oil rub bronze. So maybe we'll get another view of it with better lighting. And this just sits right on the ground and the drain just goes right into the floor. There's those beautiful cabinets. We get a good view on those. And here's the tile shower. So when we came in and did this video, not quite done. We can still see some spacers and this and that. They had a hard cutoff on move-in. So I had to take my chance when I could for this video. But the long-term vision is they're going to enclose this in glass. So they did just choose to bring this wall halfway up. And then the customers are going to have a glass wall here and then a glass door at the front. So on any of our tile showers, a shower door is going to be standard and it would be a bypass sliding door. So for customers looking to elevate their shower just a step further and introduce glass walls and doors, totally possible. It's just something that will need to be completed after the home is finished. Okay, beautiful tile in this space. These are standard for all of our closets. So that's a shelf and pole. And then this is a great view of those shelves that we added to this bathroom. So this is just for them to have extra storage in this space.
That's a great idea.
There's tile in the, I'm gonna see if I can back it up just a little bit. So it's covered as well, but there's also tile floor in this bathroom here. But once again, just to protect the customer's product, we do have the paper laid down on the floor. Okay, and then this is a great shot of those Craftsman windows. So yes, we are wrapped in trim completely, but something else I'll touch on right here is when you go with the Craftsman exterior, you do get an upgraded window package. So these gridded windows that we're seeing throughout this home is in the price of the Craftsman home. So they did not upgrade these windows. They simply went with the Craftsman exterior, and then they were able to have those windows. Something else we're going to see right here, and we also see it in the bonus room, is these customers added a couple of additional exterior doors to their plan. They're going to have a beautiful concrete pad out on the back of this home with a hot tub and a handful of things that are long-term visions. But in order to be able to easily access those areas, they added doors here so that if they're out in the hot tub and they're ready to come inside, they can just go right into their bedroom and into their bathroom. Beautiful. One thing I'll note is this is one of our standard paint packages in this home. So this customer did go with exterior and interior paint provided by Adair. So now that's inclusive of the base price. So you get a handful of schemes to choose through when it comes to your walls and your ceiling and your trim. Same for the exterior of the home. You really have you've got a lot of options for the exterior of your home. Okay, we come in here, so we see they kept that triangle island. So this is what that looks like in this space. I want to touch on a few things right here that are fantastic upgrades. So we are seeing those skylights. So we've got 3 of those like we touched on earlier. These customers also went with a gas fireplace. So we're still in the finish stage on that, but they have this bumped out wall here with the gas fireplace with the tile surround, and then their TV is going to go right up here on top. Customers who have access to natural gas, fantastic. We can bring that in the home, not a problem. Given that these customers are out on 20 acres, they went with propane. So they went ahead and they did an underground propane tank, and that is what's going to service both their fireplace and is going to service their kitchen. Because as we're about to see, they also went with gas in that space as well. This right here is a beautiful 4-panel sliding glass door. This is about 12 feet wide, so it is quite large. And so as you can see, beautiful view out in their backyard. So this allows them to have a huge bank of windows just to be able to look outside. On a 4-panel, these 2 doors are functional and they will slide open into these 2 doors.
Those are beautiful.
They are, that's a beautiful upgrade right there. A 4-panel sliding glass door if you have a view.
Oh,
gorgeous. All right, so these are those beautiful Knotty Alder cabinets that we touched on earlier. So we're getting a great viewpoint on those. I'm gonna pause it right here and go over a handful of items. So great upgrade on these cabinets. As we can see, it's also oil rub bronze for the handles on these cabinets. So that is something we carried throughout. Another item I'll touch on is the appliances. So this is our gourmet kitchen package. What comes with that is 2 wall-mounted ovens. So we're seeing 1 oven here below the range, which it looks like it's covered up, but this would have been a 5-burner gas range built in directly to the countertop. So that range and that oven are 2 independent appliances. And then you get a secondary wall-mounted oven here, a wall-mounted microwave, a hood vent, and then also your dishwasher, which is always going to be right next to the sink.
Sarah, we have a question.
Beautiful.
As for the double ovens, can the double ovens be stacked on top of each other, and can we move the built-in microwave somewhere else?
Absolutely. So when it comes to the functionality of your kitchen, it's going to be completely in your control. Some customers only want 1 oven. Some customers want both ovens stacked right over here. And with that, you can transition the microwave to just about anywhere you want. So we could build the microwave into one of these cabinets so that it sits right over here. We can build it into the island. It could be a countertop microwave, really whatever you want. If you went with the upgraded range, unfortunately, we can't put it over the stove because it's not big enough. So this is a 30-inch microwave, whereas the range is 36. So in order to meet code, they need to match. So that's the only place that gets a little tricky, but you have a lot of flexibility in how you would like these appliances to look and where they're placed in your home.
Great, thank you.
Of course. We're also seeing an upgraded flooring in this kitchen as well. So this is a luxury vinyl plank in this kitchen. It is a great alternative to tile. So it is completely waterproof, it's scratch resistant, and it comes in about $10 cheaper per square foot than tile does. So this does make a lot of our customers happy to be able to get a great tile look without having cold floors or breakable floors or anything like that.
It's beautiful.
We're also seeing an upgraded backsplash in this kitchen as well. So this is a brick set backsplash that they went and took all the way full height. So great rustic look on that backsplash, and then just kind of highlight these outlets. So there's going to be quite a few outlets in the home. Everything's going to be to code, but when building a new home, always crucial to pay attention to outlets. Think about your functionality for those, what you'll need them for. These particular customers kept just the standard outlets, but as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlets just there. We've got 2 on the island over here, and then we also have a few on the sides of this island. So that is always great as well. And then you can see that they went ahead and they kept the island tiered as well. And then this is a beautiful granite countertop. So this is our Corvallis Gold granite countertop in this space for these customers. And they carried this throughout their whole kitchen. And so that is a great functionality for them. And then something else I'll touch on in here is that farm sink. So I'm not sure if we're going to get a better view of it. So let me just see. I think we might turn around, but I'll pause here for just a second to talk about a few things. So there are only 3 items that are not in the base price of our homes. And those 3 items are going to be the washer, the dryer, and the refrigerator. So those are the 3 appliances that customers will need to provide when building an Adair home. But something that is important to note when it comes to those appliances, we are going to pre-plumb and pre-electric for all of those items. So here in this space, we're seeing the plumbing for the refrigerator and the outlet. So this plumbing here is so that you can purchase a refrigerator that's going to have an ice machine function on it. And so that will all be prepared for you. You'll just have to put the appliance in its place. Okay. We're gonna come over here to the other bathroom in this, I'm so sorry, the other bedrooms in this floor plan, and then of course the beautiful utility room. So we're going to go into the other bathroom. And so in here, we're seeing a tile floor. So they kept tile in that other bathroom and in here. So this is the same floor that is in their primary bath as well. And then this is their same countertop that we saw in that other bathroom. Okay, they just went with 1 sink in this space because they wanted to keep all of the countertop space. And then once again, they don't have any children left in the house, so it wasn't important for them to have any sort of dual vanities or anything like that. And then this is the standard tub shower combo that's going to come in the secondary bath of all of our plans. And then you'll have a tension rod for the shower curtain, and it will also be in the color that you choose for your plumbing fixtures. So for these customers, that's an oil rub bronze.
And you did say, yes, you could add a second sink in there.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, here is that beautiful utility room. So like I said, this used to be a bedroom, but we really opened up this space. Okay, so huge. It is huge. Yes, yeah, so this is the garage just on the other side of this door here. And this is the whole utility room. So we've got their electric furnace inside this closet space here, but you would never know. It just looks like a closet. We've got that luxury vinyl plank that was in the kitchen in this space as well. And then once again, upgraded cabinets. These are beautiful free floating shelves that we did from the cabinet company that match their cabinets. We don't get a close up of them, unfortunately, but you can kind of see a few of those knots. So for customers where it's really important for everything to match, you do have options when it comes to the cabinetry, as they are local and they are under the Adair umbrella. So they service the whole industry, but they do exist under our company as a whole. Okay, we're gonna segue out of that space and we are going to go in to, I believe the bonus room, but stay tuned. Once again, we're seeing that upgraded carpet throughout this space. It was really important for them to have really soft carpet. These customers are retired Air Force, and while I was working with them, they were still stationed in the United Kingdom. So we did a lot of this work virtually over the phone. I'm gonna segue back just a little bit. So this is that bonus room. So big open space on this bonus room. Once again, we can just see the number of outlets. So this room can really be created in any way that you want. Say you homeschool your children and you want this to be a school room, or you want it to be a media room and you're gonna do a projector, and it's really important to have an outlet on the ceiling for that projector. I mean, really anything you can think of, just let us know and we can bring that vision to life. So if you are in the process of building or interested in building, it's just really important to have those great conversations with your homeownership counselor about what you want the functionality of your house to look like when you move in. That is the great aspect of being able to build, is you get to turn it into whatever you want. So just have those great conversations with your home ownership counselor. That way, when you move into the house, all of the legwork is done, literally, and you just need to plug things in and put them where you want them. This is that secondary bedroom on the plan. So this is going to be their guest bedroom. Once again, beautiful full wrapped windows. And now we're going to come out and do a little tour of the exterior of the home. So as you can see, something that I'll pause on that's really important, especially in Washington State and everything, is we do have some steps in the foundation here. So these customers had a little bit of slope, but they wanted that to be in their favor. So we've got 1, 2, 3 steps here. So this is something that we work into the budget of your home. This is something that we note when we come out and perform what's called a property evaluation on your property. So we are going to get eyes on that property. We're going to shoot grade. We're going to talk you through all of these aspects. And so we see a couple steps. And it was really important for these customers to keep those because they want to do a deck out here. I mean, who wouldn't, with the view that they have? So they didn't want to move the dirt because they wanted to be able to do a beautiful deck on the outside of their home. And so we see this line, the lighting's a little interesting, but there's this line on the home that you can see. And so this is where we've already built in the deck ledger on their home to be able to house the future deck. Customers weren't quite ready to pull the trigger on it yet. Like I said, I was working with them while they were overseas. So to coordinate a deck at the same time of their build would have been a lot. So this is something they're gonna finish up here just a little bit as they are now back into the States.
Sarah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Back onto the exterior, the shakes, are those real wood shakes?
They are. So on the Craftsman, you have a handful of real wood. So I'll backtrack just a little bit to get back to the front of the house. So this is real cedar shake. So this is an all wood product. This is a wooden gorble up here in the eave of this home. And then something else to note, even though we rearranged this patio cover a little bit, it still would have had tongue and groove pine underneath the patio cover. And that is all part of the Craftsman package. So that's all real wood. And so when customers go with the Craftsman exterior, the only thing to keep in mind is you will want to treat this wood every couple of years to make sure that it's maintaining its beautiful look.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. There's that propane tank. I lied. It's above ground. I thought it was under. We can see those skylights again off of the rear of the home. And then just another pass. I mean, this patio cover is so pretty. All right. Nice. So what we'll do now is we are going to go ahead. I'm going to replay the video from start to finish so that everybody can see it in its entirety. And then while I'm doing so, please feel free to put any of your questions in the chat. That way, when the video is done replaying, we can go ahead and answer all of those in a quick Q&A section. Just love the idea of like not having a single house in sight.
Is the interior of the home all one color, Sarah?
So yes, they went with the same color on the walls throughout the whole home. And then we have a white ceiling throughout the whole home and white trim.
Nice.
And it's like it's not truly captured in the video. It's like a beigey taupey brown.
So from start to finish, as we're going through the video, how long does it take to build this home? So let's say from foundation pour up.
Foundation pour up. Okay, so that's a great question. So when it comes to active construction, that's what we would call that foundation walls up and finishes. Every home is going to be a little different based on your location and based on the size of your home. So smaller homes, active construction is usually going to be about 4 or 5 months. On a home like this one, given that it's not our biggest plan, but it is up there, I want to say active construction on this home was about 6 months. But what I'll say with that is they built in the peak time of year. So this was a summer build, which allowed this home to go up as quickly as possible. So given that we do build in all of Washington, Idaho, and Oregon, there are some mountainous regions. I mean, even when I worked in Yakima, I mean, you've got Snoqualmie Pass and areas that do experience snow. So that is something that you'll want to take into consideration when building a home. And so if a summer build is ideal, you'll just want to have those conversations with your homeownership counselor so that we're making sure to time everything properly to get yourself built in the summer.
Perfect. Okay, ready for the next one as we're going through this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you share, hold on one second, sorry. Can you share what the finished cost of the entire build was without the cost of the land? So possibly without the site prep cost also, because that's going to be different in different areas and depending on the elevation of the land.
Yeah, absolutely. So the base price on this home, we saw it on the website. So once again, so we're going to be pretty transparent on that. And so that base price is available to any of our customers. And then we did go with the Craftsman exterior, which was an upgraded exterior look on the home. So the base price on the Mount Hood in the Craftsman exterior is for our particular branch. It's a different for every branch. So even the pricing I have for this branch versus what it was in Yakima is different. And then these customers all in did about 120,000 worth of upgrades. So that crowfoot patio cover, the 9-foot ceilings, the tile shower, all of those items all together, the reconfiguration of the utility room. So they spent about 120,000 in upgrades. So on top of the base price, they signed with taxes, because this was built in Washington State. They signed their contract for about 530,000.
Thank you.
But when it comes to that, everybody's a little different. So I will say all of the homeownership counselors have seen some things, and they've all worked with different customers with different ideas and different goals. So I have worked with customers who only spent, $1,200 on upgrades, because just having the functionality of their house for their growing family was the most important thing, and they were going to upgrade over time. Whereas I've worked with customers who were building their forever home, and they were retired and they were ready to have everything they wanted. So we spent about 360,000 in upgrades. So it really just depends on what you want, where your budget is. That's the most important thing about conversations with your home ownership counselor. We're not here to break your budget. We're here to guide you and keep you in line. We want you to be comfortable with what your mortgage payments look like. We want you to be happy with how the house looks. And we want you to just take control and let us know what's important, what's not important. We will be very systematic in working through your structural wants and needs first. And then with that budget that's remaining, we want to include the must-haves. Like, what do we have to have in this house to make us happy when we move in? Okay. And then if at any point we're thinking, oh, that would be nice, or, oh, I like the idea of having that. Those are things where, that's where the budget can really come down to cutting a few things out. But the most important thing is just having those good conversations with your homeownership counselor, so that we can make sure we're setting you up for success and that you're going to be happy with this house long-term.
I have another question for you. Is there a solar option for our homes?
Absolutely. So customers can choose to want to set their home up for solar with us. So what that means is we would be able to build in all the infrastructure for future solar panels. So what that means is we would set up the rails on the roof. We would set up a blanked off panel in your electrical panel in the garage, and all the infrastructure would be there. We just don't physically provide the solar panels for you. So what that would look like is, once the infrastructure is in place and the home is completed, you would then go ahead and bring in that third-party solar panel company, whoever you're looking to go through, and they would just simply bring in their product and install it. Everything else would already be present.
Perfect.
Okay. Any other questions? We'll give it a few more minutes. So if there's anything in there that you just really wanted to know, please drop it in. We'll give it just a couple more minutes. Wonderful. Well, with that, if nobody has anything, I will go ahead and give you back the rest of your Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for watching this virtual with us. And if you would like to see more, all of these virtuals do get uploaded to YouTube. So if there's a different house you want to look at and you hope that there's a virtual on one of them, just go ahead and go over to YouTube and just type in Adair Homes, and then you're going to be able to get a whole handful of different plans that you can watch a video just like this on. All right.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah, no, thank you for being on, helping me out today, Tina. Thanks for being
Absolutely.
with us. Woohoo. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I hope everybody has a great Tuesday.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.